Welcome back to Work More. We're going to go over Saturday, December 19th slate. It is a big one, action-packed, so we're going to jump right in. First, Friday, yesterday, we actually took off. We had two official plays. Figured we'd go over them. Richmond minus 2.5. It closed at 1. And if you didn't see, just go check the box score on how that ended. Quite brutal. It was I believe, 16-point game with 5 minutes left. And they gave up a layup at the very end to win by 2. So we pushed by the hook. He missed the layup, missed the putback after that, and hit it with 0.2 seconds. So it was not fun. But so we lost that, and then we come down here. So then also last night, this wasn't official because we didn't get out on time, but Southern Utah, something very similar happened. They were up 7 with I think like 5 seconds left, had a layup open and decided not to take it. Up 7. The other team goes to foul, doesn't get the call, and so Clark gets thrown out up 7. This one wasn't official because we posted it 15 minutes before game time, and we always give at least 30 to 45 minutes. So it was posted as a suggestion, and then I was personally on. But to have those two beats right on top of each other really has been annoying. So we're hoping we get the bad luck, the bad karma out of the way with these two, and we move on to the next. So we had Belmont at 3 units, the biggest play of the year so far, first half, and it won. So that was nice. Quick plug to the Discord if you want to talk basketball all day. These same type of videos that I'm making, but all day, every day, we talk in the Discord. As you can see, scroll through, we've been talking every hour on the hour, college basketball, NBA, MLB, college football, NFL. It doesn't matter. We talk about everything. There's every sport. Stock market, politics. I don't know why you'd want to talk politics, but you can. Just everything. So if you want to talk I don't know why it's called tabletop, but if you want to talk ping pong, just whatever. And that's what this Discord is. It's a community of people trying to find the best angles on games, just like we do here. So quick plug to the Discord. The link is in the description if you're interested in that by any means. Nonetheless, let's get on to today because we have a pretty big slate on this Saturday. And of course, there we go. So to start the day, Indiana versus Butler, we're not going to touch. It's going to be a really good game. If I had to take an absolute stab at it, I would say Butler, but I would not touch this game by any means. I think both sides, it could go anyway. Butler could win straight up. Indiana could win by 20. It's going to be a very good game. So one that we're going to point out because it is the biggest game of the year so far, and it needs to be talked about, but it is a lean. Yes, I do have it wrote down as a lean, but it's not something I would actually put my physical money on. I'm going to count it towards the leans list. It's Gonzaga -3 versus Iowa. So the reason that this wouldn't be a lean or an official play by any means is Gonzaga's only had 2 days of practice. They didn't get to practice until like 2 days ago for Iowa, and that just kind of scares me. But they're definitely a significantly better team. I think Gonzaga is the best team in the nation, bar none. And that worries me. Iowa had to shoot lights out versus North Carolina to have a chance in that game, and North Carolina still came back and made it a really reasonable game. So definitely lean Gonzaga there, but interesting to note, these are actually first and second in points per game, averaging 193.5 combined. What is the total on this game? They can't put a number high enough. Yeah, 171. They can't toss a number high enough. I would say that's a bit too high, and I'd probably lean the under, and I'd probably be the only one in history, and it would probably lose. So I'm going to say lean with Gonzaga -3, but I don't feel too confident there. Next, we're going to talk about Louisville versus Wisconsin. Wisconsin's getting -5.5 here, and I am notably low on Wisconsin. I don't think this is a very good basketball team. To be able to be up on a Louisville team by 6 or more, I think that they're going to have to shoot towards the top of their range, and Louisville's a really good basketball team. 132 tells me that they assume that Wisconsin's going to be able to lock down Louisville, but I just don't see that. I think Louisville's going to keep this into a 3 or 4 point game, and so if this will get to 6, it looks like it's going to be 6 by morning. I would definitely lean Louisville here, +5.5, +6. Also, if Wisconsin has any chance of winning this, I think it's going to have to go over 131. Louisville's going to score 65. So I would lean the over as well, but I'm going to go with Louisville +5.5. They potentially win this game outright. I don't think Wisconsin's that great. So we actually have we have the Ken Palm scouting report. Louisville looked really good versus Seton Hall in a game that Louisville was a 2-point favorite, I believe, but Seton Hall is the team that I really enjoy, and I think that this is a big win. Prairie View sucks, and then they smacked around Western Kentucky. I think this is a really big game, but Western Kentucky also played really bad, so you can't hold too much weight there. But again, they scored 75, 71, 79, 86. They're going to score points, and can Wisconsin keep up? And I'm going to say no, they can't. But that is me. I'm also notably low on Wisconsin, so take that with a grain of salt. Next, we're going to be on Western Kentucky, team total over. So if you do simple math, I don't think a team total has came out yet, but 153.5 divided by 2 to get both sides, and then plus half of the spread, which was 5.5. You're getting like 72.5, 73. Where's it? Getting 72.5, 73. Alabama is a team that absolutely run and gun. And this game is going to be played at a very high pace. So to assume that a Western Kentucky team who is very talented can't score 73, I think that is on the low end of the spectrum. And they're going to have to score 73 to win this game. Alabama is going to score mid-70s. That's just the basketball that they play. So I think they're very capable of doing so. Versus Rhode Island, they only scored 68. But I think that was a low for them. So you can see they scored 96, 86 the 2 games before. Louisville, they played awful. West Virginia, they had 64, and West Virginia is one of the best defenses in the country. So I think the 75 here versus Memphis, Memphis isn't that fast-paced of a team, I don't believe. And so I just think that tempo is going to outplay itself, and Western Kentucky is a team that can score very consistently. And so I'm going to take the team total over 72.5. We'll say 73 because I think it's going to be a juice 72.5 or a cheap 73.5. So we'll say 73 for the means of this video. It is like 10 o'clock on Friday night, so I don't have the actual lines. Next, we have North Carolina versus Kentucky. This is a neutral site. I'm going to have to go with North Carolina minus 3.5 here. North Carolina is a team that I am higher on than most people. I think that they showed a lot of grit in their comeback versus Iowa. They were down a good bet, I believe 15 versus Iowa. Came back and even took the lead with like 9 minutes left, but it was just too much energy wasted at that time to come back in. I was able to pull away, but they shut down Garza. They played the basketball that they wanted to play. And another thing is if you look at stats, I don't think I have the numbers in front of me. I didn't even think to look this up, but you can see here. North Carolina is going to kill Kentucky in the boards battle, at least from a numbers standpoint, they should. A team that wins the boards battle long term has won the against the spread at a very high rate. I believe it is. So if you win the defensive boards battle by 3 or more boards, you've covered the spread 75% since 2000. So it's a very safe bet to take the team that is going to win the boards battle. And I think that North Carolina will do so, as well as I just don't think this Kentucky team is any good. I mean, they lost to a Notre Dame team that I am notably lower than I am on Wisconsin. I think this Notre Dame team has continued to be overvalued, and we bet against them against Duke, and it showed. So that team could beat Kentucky. That just speaks even worse on Kentucky. Georgia Tech smacked them around. They played a decent game against Kansas. I think Kansas more just played bad, and they lost to Richmond. So they're not a good basketball team. And even though this line seems kind of strange, seems like 3.5, 3, open at 2.5. That just seems like a spot where maybe you get stuck in a trap. But it's on a neutral site. North Carolina is going to win the rebounding battle. They have the better offense. They have the better big men. They have the better guards. It's something that I would have to take. I would have to go to North Carolina minus 3.5. Next, we have Pepperdine playing UCSB. I'll take Pepperdine minus 4.5 here. It looks like it's going to go to 5 here soon. UCSB is a team that has played LMU twice. Loyola Marymount, we have talked about on this how they're an under team. They favor the under. And I think that UCSB has been way overvalued for their offensive potential. We're actually going to pull up some numbers. It just makes this easier. I actually have Marymount pulled up. So this is actually for something different, but we can click through. So UCSB they shot like 48% here. They shot like 46% here, and in the mid-40s 3-point percentage in those 2 games. So their offensive potential looks so high because of these 2 games, and they're playing a mediocre Loyola Marymount team. Now they have to play Pepperdine. Pepperdine has played Cal, San Diego State, UCLA, Cal Irvine. Cal Irvine isn't that great this year, but they're still, I think, better than UCSB. And they played an overtime game, triple overtime game versus UCLA. They stayed within 5 of San Diego State, and they beat Cal. They just lost a really bad game to Cal State Northridge, and they had a little scrimmage before this game coming up. So I think that they're in a really good position at home for a bounce back, and I think that I would definitely take Pepperdine minus 4.5 here. Wasn't it 4.5? Yeah, 4.5 because it's about to be 5 now. I think Pepperdine is the side to be on here. They are playing in their median against really good teams, and Cal Santa Barbara has played to the highest of their ability, so they're getting priced to be a very good team when I think that all they can do is regress from here. Next, we're going to be on LMU team total under. So this is the game we were just talking about. So Loyola Marymount team total under. So they're 15. 138 divided by 2 minus or plus 7.5. So 138 divided by 2 plus 7.5. We're looking at 76.5. So assuming that this team total is 76.5, we're going to take Loyola Marymount under. They are not a mid-70s, upper 70s team. They might, if they shoot great, they'll score the mid-70s. And I think the only way this loses is if Cal Poly just tosses them the ball in the half court. So Cal Poly is a really bad team, and that's why they're a 15-point underdog. I don't see the end of this game being close by any means, and you're just getting some sleeper minutes. The final 5 minutes shouldn't be a high tempo by any means. And I don't think that LMU is high enough scoring offense to put up 76, 77, 78. So they have them at 74 on KenPom. I still think that's a little nice. So they scored 76 here, and I don't have the numbers put up, but I believe they shot like 55% this game. Their pace is starting to slowly fall down, like how we've talked about over the last few weeks. They were 335th last year and 321st the year before, and earlier this year they were in like the 100s, which was not right. Their pace is 236, but it's not. It's more in the 300s. This was like 120s a couple of days ago, and we've been playing the unders since then because they haven't been able to adjust. They're a very slow-paced team. See 349. This should be like 347. So they're the bottom of the nation in tempo, and to score 81 here, they shot like some ridiculous number. We were actually on the under in this game, and they got smoked out of the water. They just shot lights out, and so here they scored 58. Scored 85 versus Long Beach State. I don't think anything of this. Long Beach State is 22nd in tempo, so don't think anything of that. They scored what did I just say? 85 with the 22nd in tempo. So take that as what it is. They're 152 in tempo, and most of that is not them. San Fran put 88 on their head pretty quick. So they've held teams to 76, 75, 70. San Fran, of course, can score 88. That's the type of team they are. So nonetheless, I don't think LMU has the ability to score 77 points on a daily basis. And so I'm going to take the team total under here. I think that it is definitely the side to be on, if any, in that game. And finally, we have South Alabama. So South Alabama playing Alabama A&M, the in-state rivalry that nobody knows, not even South Alabama. So I live in Alabama, as most of you know, and I thought this one was funny because Alabama A&M is kind of known as like they're not a good basketball team. These two talent calibers are just completely different. South Alabama is a really good school. They played Auburn to a really good game. Auburn shot lights out. It's the only reason they were even in that. Like it was even a game. Auburn shot like 50% from three, and they shot like 43s or something crazy. Nonetheless, Alabama A&M is terrible. So we're going to use this game. The lean on this is the under 142.5. Also, I would lean South Alabama -8 or put this in a money line parlay somehow. I cannot imagine them losing this game. But Alabama A&M played a good first game. Maybe they're good now. They're not. So I'm going to use this game as a little reference tool to show you how to use Killer Sports. I don't know how I feel about Killer Sports. Killer Sports has not updated their logs for basketball for the season. They said they're not going to. Stupid. But they have every other sport, and it's a great reference and a great tool to use. So just show you how to use this for some quick searches. So if you wanted to find Alabama A&M, you can just search team. You can click and find your team here. So if you wanted Air Force, Akron, Alabama State, et cetera, et cetera. So I actually didn't know what abbreviation Alabama A&M was, so I just went and looked at a game that I did know. So they played Alabama State last year. I just clicked Alabama State, found what game was Alabama A&M, so I know this is Alabama A&M. So then you have your team. So you can see that historically they are 126 and 284 straight up, and they're 45% against the spread. nonetheless, you need to break this down because these are from like can't see, but I'm sure that these go all the way back to like 2000. So and season, I'm going crazy. Greater than or equal to 2015. So now you have Alabama A&M's since 2015. So this is what I was talking about. They're not a good basketball team. They're 18-104 since 2015. Yeah, they're not a good basketball team. So to dilute this a little bit more, we're going to make it where a line is equal to 10 and their dog. So this is games where I did the sign wrong. These are games where they're single-digit underdogs since 2015. So what you can notice is they're 25%, 20-7 to the under. Let's see, since 2010, I'm curious. I haven't looked at this. 8-22 to the under, or 22-8 to the under. And so they're not a good team. I think that there's no way that they win this game. And I was looking some way to put them in a money line parlay. I couldn't really find a game that I liked enough. It's pretty juicy. I think it was like 330, something like that. So if I had a lean, it would be the under. I don't like playing teams that are this bad. You don't know what you're going to expect from Alabama, and what if they come out and score 70? You have no clue. So I wouldn't personally put real life money on teams like Alabama A&M, no matter what. So my lean here would be under 142.5, but take that for what it is. It looks like it's already at 142. So some people are leaning the same way as me. I didn't change. Oh my gosh. So I just made this whole video with myself this big on the screen. It's supposed to be this size. I completely apologize. That being said, I am 19 minutes into this video and I am not redoing it. I apologize, Dane. You can edit this thing. I'm not going to redo it. This is a work in progress. We continue to work on it every single day, and this is just going to be a video where you see me extra big today. So I apologize. It is what it is. So back to what we were doing. We're on the exit scene because we are done. So my leans for today are Louisville +6, Gonzaga -3, Western Kentucky team total over 73, I think we said. North Carolina -3.5, Pepperdine -4.5, LMU team total under 76.5, and South Alabama under 142.5. So these are my leans. Again, they are leans. Take them with a grain of salt. They are my light rundown through the games. I could show you my notes. They're like 2 sentences a piece. I go through and I know basketball for the most part better than I'm sure the average person does. I've looked at lines for the last 3 years every single day. So I understand that, and we have a good basis. I believe Lane's keeping a track, and we might start posting the record. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but I know that they're very plus EV, the lanes. That being said, take them as leans. Do your own due diligence. Do your own work. We have 2 official plays for tomorrow. Also, we have a max bet in college football. Cannot wait for that. I think it's at like 3 p.m. I don't know. So excited for that. We have 2 plays. It's going to be a big Saturday. Hope you enjoy your weekend, and let's make some money.